Remember, I said, if you like me at the end of the seminar, I fucked up. When I talked to the universities, if you like me at the end of this fucking 3 hours, I fucked up. It's because I didn't lay the truth bare. I didn't cut your bones open and lay your soul bare to the facts. Because with the facts, I mean, with one or two exceptions, I mean, you have to admit to yourself that you wasted 5, 10, 20, 25 years of your life down a shithole to accept this. And the reason why it's the most difficult, the most difficult aspect is to admit you've been doing it all wrong. I mean, your personal development, 99% of it is just dog shit. It's like now, first marathon I ever ran was 3 hours. First. Now they run 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hour marathons. Or now the new gig is I ran for the experience. Fuck you and your experience. Stay in your fucking job. Stay married to the same slut or flabby ass piece of shit that you're married to. Continue to raise your kids like a fucking moron. Fine, I don't give a fuck. But if you're gonna do this, there's only one way to get it done. That's the only way this works. There is no plan B, C, D, or E. So you can either do it or you can't. I don't really give a shit. We got a year stacked up. Now, we don't have anybody, if you quit today, we don't have anybody that's willing to come and only spend the last 2 days. But up until yesterday, we had people that would come in, pay full tilt, sleep in your fucking bed. We don't even have to change the sheets. Because it's a rough fucking world out there. What banks are the ones in Canada, because he's from Toronto as well, are going to be able to lend me the money the most easy, but the easiest, and there aren't any. And even the most liberal banks it depends on the loan officer. Now, we haven't even got into this, but I'll get into it now. If I don't like the loan officer because he's got an attitude, next, I want to see your superior. You will rock him. I've made bankers cry. When you put them through that fucking interviewing script, they will sweat. You will never find a banker that says that we lend more money the last few weeks of the year because of the holiday bonuses. You'll never find anybody that'll admit that. But it's so true. This is 25, 30 years ago, I had the senior guy, one of the major 4 banks here in Britain, sitting in my library, sucking up scotch, saying I'm 770 million pounds under loaned. $700 billion. Can you help me, Dan? I come to you because everybody knows you got dozens, I didn't have hundreds of deals, that's bullshit. Most fist fights, for those of you that have ever been in a fight, are won in that first 30 to 45 seconds. And during the boxing, even though it was embarrassing, some of the boxing, but they came out smoking. Now, originally, for anybody that's fought, originally they went in 5 3-minute rounds. Are you fucking nuts? I mean, these got 5 3-minute rounds. I mean, that's war. Because I'm always put myself under the gun no matter what I did. Whether it was lift weight, box. The fact that you won't admit that you've wasted most of your life. And for you young kids, so you wasted 5 years, so what? And there's nobody really old in this room. I'm 35 years older than the oldest guy in this goddamn room. But you know, a lot of people say, I wish I found it 20 years ago. I was here 20 years ago. You didn't look too fucking hard. Because remember, everybody in this room falls into one of 2 categories, desperate or inspired. And there's not one fucking inspired person in this room. So where did that leave you? Desperate. That's fine. That's my speciality. I know how to, I know how to turn shit to gold. But you've got to, for me to fill your cup, you've got to empty the shit out of it already. And part of that shit is your emotional baggage. Emotional baggage. I've got emotional baggage, but it's nothing like you guys have. Some people say, psychiatrists tell me that I should have emotional baggage because my dad was an assassin killer. Do I look like I got any emotional baggage about that? I wear it like a badge of fucking honor because he had some balls and he killed people that should have been killed. Boom, boom, boom. Remember, you assimilate at this seminar between 40 and 60% of the material because there's so much. Okay. It'll take you 5 years to be able to understand all of it, but you can exit before that. But I don't want you to buy pigs in a poke. I want you to take somebody there that understands. Anelli even said, I can walk into a business and I can tell her whether it's a shit business in 5 minutes. Of course, now he's been doing it a while. 5 minutes. You can, and you can tell when, as I put in my book, I go out with a sales manager. I go with this, and it's a 3-day process. And way before I sit down to negotiate the final deal with the owners, I know a lot about the business. I pretty much have a gut feel for who I should keep, who I should get rid of. And when I went out with marketing or sales, we always went out for drinks. And most people are cheap drunks, and 1 or 2 drinks, and they tell you everything. Of course, they're currying favor because you're going to be the new owner, and they want to be your friend. They want you to like them more than you want them to like you, which is hard to understand. Because we're not in the like business. We're in the business to be effective. And 9 times out of 10, when they like you, you did something wrong. Come out smoking, like Smoking Joe Frazier, who was a nice guy I knew back in the day. I met Muhammad Ali twice. Once on the Concorde, which doesn't fly anymore, and then once before that, I went to the Cotton Club. This is on my site, and Dan does it extreme. The Cotton Club in Harlem in 1978, and Harlem was all black then. It hadn't been developed into what it is today. And there were only 2 white people at the Cotton Club: Muhammad Ali's chauffeur and me. And I'm sitting about from here to that curtain. From Red Fox was the comedian, funny guy. So he was loaded on something. I don't know what he was loaded on, and he was saying shit. And part of his routine is making fun of white people. And so I jumped up and said, "Speak for yourself, old man." You could cut the air with a chainsaw. Quiet. And I'd say, and he was a feisty old fucker. He says, he comes down, and I start running towards him. And then a bunch of big black guys stopped me, and Muhammad Ali was about where you are. And he stood up and said, "Everybody calm down. I'm sure the white man doesn't want a problem here." And then Muhammad looks around the room at all the black faces. He says, "I'm sure the white man doesn't want a problem here. So why don't we just comp his bill and let him go?" No, I got a big mouth. Not me, I'm not going anyplace. Fuck, I don't know what I was thinking. God help me. God help me. But I did leave. Finally, discretion was the better part of valor. I did leave. And so then when we go out, his chauffeur said, he's talking to my chauffeur, "Is this kid crazy?" But so Muhammad Ali, very nice to me. So then when I met him on the Concorde many years later, he didn't remember. He was at sort of the early dementia is part of Parkinson's, whatever he was. But I said I'd met him once before. He said, "Oh, that's nice." Very pleasant, really nice guy. Really nice guy. I was sorry to see him get like that towards the end of his life. But I mean, come out smoking. Come out, and don't be concerned about the mistakes you make. Practice, 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 and you're still going to make a mistake. The only perfect practice makes it perfect. Took me 200 speeches. Maybe I was good after 160 or 70. But I mean, and one of the reasons I had a high work ethic for practice is because I was such a shitty athlete. I used to have just to be an average, mediocre athlete, I had to practice twice as much as anybody else. Because I was uncoordinated, And I mean, I still remember they hit the ball to center field. Please, God, we're 2-1 for the league finals. We're leading 2-1. Bases are loaded. I knew the cocksucker was going to hit the center field. And by God, he did, and I dropped the ball.